Okay, we're on Vavam Beis. We just finished a incredible explanation between the machlokes between Rav Shimon and the Chachamim, whether you need two and a little bit or three and a little bit, centering around the machlokes yesh aim lemikra, yesh aim lemisayris. To explain in layman's term, what that means is the Torah writes the word basuka is three times. Three times. Once it has a vav, and twice we read it as if it has a vav. So it's read plural, basukas, 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 which would be six mentions, two times three plural is six. It's written only one with a vav, which would be one plural, plus two singular is four. So either you have four mentions of sukkah in the Torah or six. So the basic first explanation that we learned is, so one of them has to be canceled because you need the pasuk for itself. So four comes to three, six comes to four. So now we have four versus three. Say the both opinions comes on the halacha Sinai and cancels out a little bit. So therefore you're left with either two and a little bit, the Chachamim, or three and a little bit, Rav Shimon. That's the machlekes. Yeshem lemikra, yeshem lemesayris. That's what we learned last time. A beautiful machlekes. V'iba yisema, another teretz again. Rav Shimon holds three and a little bit. The Chachamim hold two and a little bit. V'iba yisema, we're about 15 lines to the bottom. The first word of the line is ba'is. V'iba yisema, the kuli alma yeshem lemikra. Everyone agrees yesh aim lemikra, that has to do with the way that it is read, which means that it's plural, which means that it's six. We have a different machlekes. Mar Savar, the Chachamim hold, Succah bayakra, that we need a pasuk to teach me about the schach, and therefore that subtracts an extra one. So according to the Chachamim, it's going to bump it down a level. Umar Savar Succah loy bayikra, and Rav Shimon holds you don't need to bump it down a level. Givaldik, that's the machlekes. V'ba yisema, third teretz. The kuli alma now yeshim lemisayris. Everyone goes by the way that it is written, which is four. V'achla b'hakamifli mar saver ki asel chasa. The Chachamim hold one of the lachamish Sinai do ligara. It subtracts. So therefore, you're down to two and a little bit. Omar Savar and Rav Shimon old Kiyasa Yelchasa Lahaisif. They're arguing what is the Halach L'Moshe Sinai? Is it subtracting or adding? Teretz number 3. Teretz number 4. Viba Yisema. The Kuli Alma. Everyone holds Kiyasa Yelchasa Likara. Everyone holds it subtracts. And everyone holds Yishem Limisairis. Everyone holds that's the way that it's written, so it's 4. The machlekes is, do we need an extra pasuk? Meaning, do you darshan the first time something is mentioned in the Torah? Do we say that is needed for the story or not? Darshan Techilos, you're able to darshan the first word the first time it's mentioned. Mar Savar. Darshan Techilos, yes. Mar Savar ain't Darshan Techilos.
In our case,
Good.
why is that different than Succah?
Oh, no, it's the same thing. It's another way of learning it. You're right. One way of saying it is, do the schach need a pasuk? Another way of saying it, can you darshan? Yeah, no, meaning it's just a different mechanics. As it won't be an afkamina here. You're correct. Here it comes in thing. The difference would be, according to that answer, the opinion that holds you're not darshan chilas elsewhere, we're gonna have a problem. But you're 100% correct. Ramasna, our final teretz. Time of the Rav Shimon me'acha. Where did Rav Shimon get his din? He need 3 and a little bit. A totally different source. Says in the Torah, the Sukkah tia letzel yoimam. Your Sukkah has to be for shade during the day. Mechayre from the heat. Ula michsa, and for protection. Ula mistar, and for refuge, literally, like another type of protection. Mizerem, from a storm. Umimater, and from rain. What do we see from this pasuk? We see, as Rashi says, that if you want to have something that protects you from winds and storms and rains, what do you need? You need some level of 4 mechitzos. And therefore, Rav Shimon says you need 3 and a little bit. It's true. It's not really protecting you, but at least like in halachic eyes, it's 4 somewhat level walls. That's where Rav Shimon gets that you need 3 and a little bit. So basically 5 different terutzim. The first 4 center around the psukim of sukkah. Do we go by the way it's read or the way that's written? And the last one is a new pasuk that Rav Shimon has, a new pasuk that sukkah needs to be protection. Now we begin a new sugya. Says the Gemara. V'oisei tefach. That tefach, which tefach? Either the little tefach according to the Chachamim, or the little tefach on the far side according to Rav Shimon. Now we're going to deal, as you see in all the pictures on the side of your Gemara, with the sheet of the Chachamim, because that's what we paskin. So we paskin 2 and a little bit. Question is, where's that little bit? Is it down here? Is it up here? Is it up here? Does it not make a difference? And as you look at the side of your Gemara, you see all the different pictures, you start to conjure up all the different places this little tefach could be. So the question is, where do you put it? So Amar Rav, 2 lines to the bottom, says Rav, Ma'amidai kineged hayotzei. You place it opposite the yotzei, the wall coming out, which is when you look at Rashi, means on either side, but it means opposite. We would call it perpendicular in English. If one wall's this, it comes out this way. If one wall's this, it's come out this way. Meaning it's, which by the way, if we were to have just thought about it ourselves, that's what we would have said. If I tell you something needs 2 walls and a little bit, say, okay, 2 walls and either a little bit here or a little bit here. You wouldn't necessarily think, okay, a little bit here.
The third one.
Correct, exactly. It has to be a shortened third wall. Perfect. Which, that's the first opinion. Amri lo Rav Kahana Ravasi. Rav Kahana Ravasi said, L'Rav to Rav. 1 second, why are you telling me place it coming out of that third wall? V'yamidenu. Why do we not place it kineged roish tor? Kineged a diagonal. Now, what does a diagonal mean? So if you look at your pictures, let me see which way do your pictures have it? Yeah. So if you look at your pictures, so the top picture is one way of learning it. Oh yeah, Baruch Hashem, people are slightly pigs. Okay. Yeah, it's something like that. It's one way to say it. If you look at your pictures, the top picture is just more of like a diagonal coming out of the wall, a reish tor. That's one way. If you look at your pictures, I think there's another way, which is particularly easier to understand. Look at your third picture. Mm-hmm. Third picture just gives a little more perspective of what this different opinion would be. Is that maybe what's the difference if it's on a diagonal straight? Like what exactly is right? So Rashi sort of says that the diagonal makes it as if it's 2 walls. Like, what does that mean? How's the diagonal 2 walls? So when you look at your third picture over there, you sort of could pictureize better. Because if I have like this and then I have a wall like this, oh, it's both sides. Now, in the first picture, when it's down like this, it's a little bit hard to picture. So different achrayim learn. Exactly.
It looks like it's just bent the same.
Exactly. So that's how Rav Kahana Ravasi asked the Rav, why? It's good, you need a little bit. Why not make it a diagonal to, let's call it Ki'ilu, add on 2 walls? Shasig Rav. Rav was quiet. Now, what does it mean Rav was quiet? It's big machlekes. Sometimes shtikas kaita, he was masking. Sometimes it's like, you're so stupid, I'm not responding to you. Over here, we'll see for the next Gemara what probably it means. Look as the Gemara continues. The Gemara says, Itmar Nami. So Itmar Nami means it also was said, Amar Shmuel Mishmei de Levi. Shmuel said the name of Levi. Ma'amida Keneged Hayoitze. Like the original way of saying it. And they also taught Bei Midrash in the yeshiva. Ma'amida Keneged Hayoitze. So we would assume that Shasik Rav means he was Maida. He admitted. Because the Gemara continues with the original way of saying it, not on a diagonal, but rather straight. And that's how we paskin, says the Gemara. That's what they taught in the Beis Medrash. Ma'amidai keneged hayotzi. So the first opinion, if we were to ask that little bit, where does it come from? Comes out a third wall, a little bit. Says the Gemara, another opinion. 4 lines down, Zayin Omen Aleph. Rav Simon, V'itema Rav Yeshua ben Levi Amar, Oise loy tefach soichich. This third wall, you have to make. You have to make a tefach soichik. A soichik means an expanded tefach. Expanded tefach in English, as you look at Rashi on the 3rd hour line, says it's a tefach and a mashu. It's not there's a condensed tefach and an expanded tefach. A condensed tefach is mamish exact. An expanded tefach is a little bit bigger. It's 1.1. What does that do for us? Says Rav Simon, a beautiful chiddush. Uma'amidoi, and you stand this expanded tefach within 3 tvachim of the wall, pachis less than 3 tvachim of the wall, samuch l'daifen near the wall, and therefore, v'chol pachis mishleisha, anything less than 3 samuch l'daifen close to the wall is kilavud dami. It's like lavud. Lavud is a halach l'mosh misine that closes up the gap. So says Rav Simon, a beautiful chiddush. You know what this one tefach is? It's expanded. It's within 3. And then what do you have? You have a wall halachically that's 4. What's 4? What's 4? What's the minimum size of a wall?
What? You have 4?
Again, let's say it again. I'm sorry. Here's your tefach. I'll just do it like this. Here's your tefach. It's fine. Here's your tefach. It's expanded, so it's 1.1. And there's a space of 3. That space of 3 halachically is considered closed.
Right.
Good. So then you have a space of 3, which is closed, plus 1.1, which is how much? 4.
Okay.
Good. What's 4? The smallest size of a wall has to be.
We're talking about 4 walls.
No. Excuse me. 4 tefachim. 4 tefachim. One more time. Let's say this. I'm sorry.
You're taking less than.
Go. 1.1 within 3, which means
2.9.
2.9, right? 2.9. Good. 2.9 and 1.1 is 4. 4 is majority of 7. What's 7? The minimum size of a wall. So says Rav Simon, why do you need 1 tefach? It doesn't mean like we thought 2 walls and the last wall little tefach. No, it means 2 walls and then create a halachic wall. How do you do that? You need a majority. How can you get the majority of 7 with 1? A miracle. A little bit bigger than 1. Within 3 tefachim, closes it up is 4 tefachim. 4 tefachim, majority of 7. A beautiful chiddush, one of these halachic eyes. Says Rav Simon that you can have. Let's read it again inside. Rav Simon v'tim Shimon Levi Amar. Oiselay tefach seich, make an expanded tefach. Umamidoy, and stand that expanded tefach, that 1.1 tefach. Bipachas mishleisha tefachim, within 3 tefachim of the wall, it's called 2.9. So 1.1 of real wall, 2.9 of imaginary wall. Samach l'daiven near the wall. Chapachas mishleisha, anything within 3 tefachim of the wall, samach l'daiven, kilava dami, and therefore you have 4 tefachim as if of a wall. 4 is the majority of 7 tefachim. That's how Rav Simon learns. You need to have your 3rd wall. Period. End of part A. Givaldik. Let's go to part B for 4 minutes. Amar Rav Yehuda, says Rav Yehuda, what about the following case? Sukkah ha'asuya kimavui. A sukkah made like a mavui. What's a mavui? So in your pictures, this is picture number 5, which is what? Mavui is 2 walls, like a mavui. Says Rav Yehuda, it's also kshera. But the question is, where do you put the tefach? So till now we had like this, 2 walls, and you put it over here, you put it over here, you put it on the diagonal, put it over here. But now if I have it like this, says Rav Yehuda, tefach, put it wherever you want. Wherever you want, because you need to have 2 in a little bit. You have 2 in a little bit. Who says they have to connect? Okay, that's Rav Yehuda. Rav Simon, who again, he was the machmir a moment ago. Look what he says over here. Levi, Amar, pas arba. Make a board the size of 4 tefachim. Umashu in a little bit, 4.1 tefachim. Umami and stand this 4.1 tefach board. Bipachais mishleisha, within 3 tefachim of the wall. Samach l'daifen. Chapachas mishleisha, 3 tefachim of the wall. Samach l'daifen is kilava dami, and therefore, what do you have? A wall of 4.1 plus 2.9, a wall of 7 tefachim. So what's the obvious question? What do you mean?
What are we trying to do here?
Trying to get 3 walls. Good?
Okay, fine.
Good.
Yeah.
So we started off 2 walls. Put a little bit there.
Fine.
Good. Put a little bit here. Good. Rav Simon came along.
Now we're in a monthly, right?
I want to speak it out again because you'll see the kasha very nicely. So like this. What did Rav Simon there say? Don't put a little bit over here. Put a little bit here because then you have the majority. Now we're in not a mavui, but a sukkah like a mavui. So you have a sukkah walls like this on the 2 sides. Where do we put the 3rd wall? Says the first sheet, Rav Yehuda, put it wherever you want. Good. Says Rav Simon, no. Make a board, 3.9 tefachim. 4.1 tefachim.
Board is not a wall.
A board, a wall, a wall.
Changing the shine.
Good. Just because it's not a beam, it's a board. A beam is now, or a board is bigger.
This is where I'm lost over here.
Yeah.
We're talking about walls. Don't tell me how thin or
No, not thick. Oh. Here's your 2 walls.
Okay.
Where do you get the 3rd wall? So said the Rav Yehuda, the 3rd wall is No. Here. This way. Here. I'll tefach like this, which is your third wall.
Oh, okay, fine.
Good.
Different perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Good.
Fine.
Says Rav Simon. No, put it over here,
Right.
but don't put it thin. Make it thicker. Okay. It's thicker. Now, what do you got if it's thicker? Now, this is 4 tvachim. This gap here is
Less than
3 tvachim.
So you have 7 this way.
So you have 7 tvachim.
Okay.
Good. So now you have a 7 tefach wall. Good. So now what's the kasha? We should open, if you open the picture book, it'll take you a second. You'll see. Look in the back of your Gemara.
Yeah.
Go to the back of your Gemara. 1 second. It makes it much easier once you see the contrast. So again, Rav Simon is telling me, what do you do?
This top is the floating.
Yeah. Imaginary walls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at it together. Here. This is Rav Simon. No. Back on page. Just next Gemara. Here we go. This is tefach.
Yeah.
Or over here.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So in the first case, what do we say? Either 1 tefach. Good.
Right.
Or then I'll show you the other picture.
Here, they have it here. This is it. No?
This is good. A tefach with 3 tefachim, or 4 tefachim with 3 tefachim.
Fine.
These are the 2 cases.
Yeah.
So what's the question? Question is, why in the first case did it suffice with 4 tefachim of imaginary wall, which was majority of 7, and why in the second case do you need a 7 tefach imaginary wall? If the first case of 4 tefach is enough, why in the second case you need 7?
Yeah.
So ask the Gemara. Very good. That kasha. With this we conclude. Ma'ishna hasam. In the first case, the ka'amrit that you said, sagya, it suffices tefach soichek with 1 expanded tefach, which when you include the extra 3 tefachim equals 4 tefachim. U'ma'ishna halcha. And why here the ka'amrit baya? It says you need pas arba 4 tefach wall plus the 3, which is 7 tefachim. If you, Rav Simon, hold, you need imaginary walls, so just do 4 in both cases, do 7 in both cases. What's going on? Answers the Gemara, Hasam. In the first case, the Geshtei Devanas kill Chasan. For some reason, because they're attached, it makes it kill Chasan. Sagila b'tefach seichik. Hach, on the second case, like Geshtei Devana, is because there's 2 separate walls. Yiga pas arba in, iloi. Now, what is that answer is hard to understand, but at least we can understand a little bit the difference. A little bit.
You can look back at the pasuk that the last Gemara brought down. You need 2 random walls
floating. Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's not a real thing.
Right. Meaning when it's like this, you could see up as something, and then you add on. Good.
If you want protection.
Very good.